thanks for staying with us. So we're going to start with the nation. Money laundering, EFCC launches probe into real estate. Torrents of tribute for media icon Doyin Abiola. 200,000 naira loan for serving core members in this 9 billion naira deal. Nobody took that story. Wow. Ikeja Disco sinks into ownership crisis. 2 Ghanaian ministers, others killed in crashed helicopter. A mockery, Lagos remains safest state in Nigeria. Free healthcare for low-income pensioners. And Kwamwan rejects fans' claim on alleged boarding rules infraction. Okay, which story?
I have the one that says Lagos to Lekki residents, your borehole water is contaminated. And the Lagos state government has warned residents and property developers in the Lekki axis that boreholes drilled in the areas are likely yielding feces-contaminated water. The government also said the contamination is a result of years of unregulated drilling of shallow boreholes and absence of proper water management and fast-developing corridor. In the fast-developing corridor, the permanent secretary of the Office of Drainage Services and Water Resources, Mahmood Adegbite, stated this at the stakeholders meeting, stating that many residents in Lekki are unknowingly consuming what can only be described as feces-infested water. Adegbite also mentioned that the practice of drilling boreholes without adherence to environmental guidelines has resulted in this humongous damage and bringing us to the dangerous levels of water contamination in most parts of Lekki Peninsula. So I don't know what
people let people rest, because everybody is pointing finger and blaming, but the real issue is that we don't have a water corporation. We don't have public water system that is good, going to everybody's house that you can tap into, and yet we're blaming people for drilling borehole, trying to solve their own problems by themselves. Government, help us. EFCC is pointing fingers at real estate companies again. They said that real estate companies are being used for money laundering. So EFCC, the chief executive, yesterday, said they began to investigate into some real estate companies across the country, said that civil servants are funding a lot of real estate companies with stolen funds to buy houses. He spoke at on this critical issue at the Nigerian real estate ecosystem. It was organized by Abuja-based law firm and the law corridor. Ulukoyede said that the commission has secured forfeiture of 15 of such properties. He said some of the civil servants abandoned their properties when they no longer have access to illicit funds, with some buildings left uncompleted for as long as 20 years, and he called for the operationalization of the beneficial ownership program to provide information about those that are beyond the corporate entities that own the real estate. So once again, if corrupt people use their money to buy a house, it's not the company's fault. It is the fact that there is a corrupt person who has gotten funds and is using it. And with SCUMU, you're supposed to register everything. So if we register, actually, if people are registering all bulk payments that they get, it's easy for EFCC to trace. But when you do a headline like this, I feel like real estate industry is under major attack right now. And so please help us so that we can still feed our family and pay our staff.
Also, as Nigerians, we're just being warned. And as we know, a lot of people it's much harder for people to put stolen money outside like they used to. So a lot of them are looking for different ways. So I guess it's also for the real estate companies to be careful so that they don't get entangled with, people like that. So it's just to protect the real estate companies as well, I think. But I have this very exciting story. So they said 3 Nigerian pupils, Nafisa Abdullahi Aminu, Rukaya Muhammad Fema, and Hadiza Kashim Kali, have emerged victorious at the 2025 Teen Eagle Global Competition held in London, the United Kingdom. It's been described as a national achievement that transcends regional and institutional boundaries. So they say the stories of one of determination, academic excellence, and triumph of opportunities. So our president has showered encomiums on the 3 girls, applauding their excellence as proof of brighter future for Nigeria. Their home state governor, Buni, has also approved the grand reception in honor of the winning girls for the academic feat. So these girls, right, they're students of Nigerian Tulip International College. They are scholarship students. Wow. They beat there'll be 20,000 participants from 69 countries. 17-year-old Nafisa was crowned overall best in English language skills. 15-year-old Rukaya won top honors in global debate category, and Hadiza clinched the Outstanding Talent Award, earning a gold medal for her performance. And this is on the back of all the other achievements that women have just
women. In fact, the next president of Nigeria must be a woman.
I'm telling you, you got it.
This is the time for women.
I think it's time.
We don't want to see any male candidate, I beg. Okay, I have a story for pensions. So SUCO has come to the way for some retirees under the contributory pension scheme. They are to enjoy access to free health care. The president gave the directive yesterday for the immediate rollout of the scheme for retirees, especially for low-income earners. So the president announced the program after being briefed by the activities of the National Pension Commission, PENCOM, by its chief executive, Ms. Omolola Oloworon, at the State House in Abuja. So according to the spokesperson, Mr. Bayo Anonuga, he said that the PENCOM Director General is to urgently resolve all long-standing police pension issues, emphasizing that members of the police force deserve to retire with dignity and peace of mind. I hope it's done, because it's one thing to say it and another thing to do it. They also said that there are plans to introduce foreign currency contributors to enable Nigerians in diaspora to participate in the PENCOM system. So, I mean, this is a major issue in Nigeria where pensioners don't get their benefits. So I'm hoping that this really helps, especially those low-income earners who don't have family members to take care of them. Moving on quickly now to The Punch. Foreign investors sell off 576 billion naira Nigerian stocks in 6 months. Hey, she will not go and buy stock market. Pension battle, just talked about that. Police retirees reject FG's healthcare offer. Nigeria-US advance high-level talks over visa restrictions. Tinubu consoles Ghana after corporate crash. Kills 2 ministers and 6 others. Sanwo-Olu pledges statewide infrastructure at Badagry roads unveiling. And receivership row. Egbin Power challenges FBN Quest's takeover move. Okay, which story?
Yeah, I have this sad story coming out of Ghana, and our president is consoling the president of Ghana, John Mahama, and the government and people of Ghana. This is following the helicopter crash that claimed the lives of Ghana's defense minister, Edward Boama, the environment minister, Ibrahim Murtala Mohammed, and 6 others. The Ghanaian presidency had announced the incidents hours after the armed forces reported that a chopper carrying 3 crew and 5 passengers had dropped off the radar. They said other victims were Alhaji Muniru Mohammed, who was Ghana's Deputy National Secretary Coordinator and a former agriculture minister. It's really sad, you know, it looked like they had some of their very top personalities in that crash. Their souls rest in peace. Our condolences to the people and government of Ghana.
Let's go on a very short break. When we come back, we continue with our review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
So still reviewing Punch, who has a story. I was going to take the picture story.
Okay.
Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has pledged continued statewide infrastructure development as he unveiled a network of roads in Badagry local government area. He was addressing the press there, and he was saying that beyond the electoral process, we commend the continuous understanding, patience, and cooperation shown by the people of Badagry throughout the entire construction period of these roads. Your willingness to accommodate the challenges that often accompany such large-scale infrastructure work, such as temporary disruptions and inconveniences, has been instrumental. This spirit of partnership and community support has provided us with the crucial leverage needed to overcome obstacles and deliver. I'm so happy for the people of Badagry because I have family there. And whenever I go there, I know how that road is. So the partnership with Lagos State government and federal government, and even the internal roads that the Lagos State government is doing, is a big win for Badagry's residents. Yeah. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations, and congrats to the governor for the work well done.
Awesome. So I was going to take the story of the power sector and they said
Keja Disco.
No, this one, well, they are part of it.
Okay.
They said the crisis plaguing the Nigerian power sector is even getting deeper as the First Bank Nigeria Holdings, through their subsidiary FBN Quest, trustees they've made moves to take over Egbe Power Station, Ikeja Electric, First Independent Power Limited. They said this brings about 6 number of Nigerian electricity distribution companies under receivership because they are not managing the funds well. Well, the funds are not flowing. He said he raised concerns about the integrity of the 2013 power sector privatization exercise because in this move now, taking over this set of power stations and distribution companies, Justice Akitayo ordered the bank and regulators to freeze the company assets and accounts that the company has fallen under receivership and now it will be managed by a different entity. As a consequence of the company's management and directors' loss of control over assets, there's going to be impact on service delivery, and that's what I'm concerned about. They made a list of other companies that are affected, how it played out, but what we know now is these 3 will be taken over in a short time, and I don't know what that will mean for the power sector. One thing is clear, service needs to get better. We're still complaining about service, and yet they are saying they're not getting enough money. We say it's already expensive. There's a challenge with the power sector. It's something that both the minister, owners that are investors into this power sector need to have a meeting to discuss it.
This is talking about an accountant that was jailed 15 years for defrauding Oyo job applicants. And serving accountant in the Oyo State Health Management Board, Wahab Olabanji, has been sentenced to a total jail term of 15 years following his conviction for fraudulently collecting various sums of money from unsuspecting victims with the promise of giving them employment. Wahab, who until his trial was the Chief Executive Officer accounts on grade level 14 at the State Hospital Management Board, he was accused of collecting the money from applicants who applied for the last recruitment into the board and the State Teaching Service Commission. The chairman of the Oyo State Anti-Corruption Agency, Justice Eni Esson, retired, disclosed this in a statement in Ibadan, the capital of Oyo State. She said that he was convicted on a 30-count charge of official corruption, obtaining money under false pretense and conversion, to which he was sentenced 6 months imprisonment with an option of 50,000 on each count charge. She also mentioned that the man was convicted on official corruption, obtaining money under false pretense, and however, after a rigorous 17-month trial, the court delivered its judgment on Friday, August 1st, 2025, in which the defendant was found guilty on all 30 counts, and he was sentenced to he was being imprisoned for 6 months with an option of 50,000 fine on each. The court also ordered the defendant to pay all sums fraudulently obtained from his victims within 3 months to remedy the wrong suffered by the victims due to the corrupt and fraudulent actions. The justice was also saying that she reiterated that the Oyo State government's commitment to zero tolerance for corruption in public service in the states. Okay. So it's a good one. If you are within the system and you chop the system, you will go to jail.
Okay, the Daily Sun. Panic fears over flooding. No citizen of Enugu should go to bed hungry, says Governor Mba. 2027 APC breaching electoral laws with Tinubu's endorsement, says ADC. NPAN, NGE, mourn ex-Concord MD Doyin Abiola. Ghana plane crash, we talked about that already. Rivers, IPAC rejects August 30 local government elections. Okay, which story?
Panic. This is panic fears over flooding. Yesterday I had taken the story that about 19 states in our country have been, alerted to possible flooding in a few days, and they've been advised to evacuate. This particular story is highlighting Anambra State because they have already started, they said barely 24 hours after their alert, flood has wreaked havoc in Ogbaro local government area of Anambra. It's destroyed houses, property and farmland, and then they even have the executive secretary of the Anambra State Emergency Management Agency, Mr. Paul Odenibo, who disclosed that all the residents in water-prone areas were well sensitized about the impending flood that was expected this year. They said that they had asked people, they had told them, and this is something that they've always dealt with, but they were also asked that, are people just willingly ready to evacuate? They said that, well, they have some people who are doing that, but there's still some people that insist that nothing will happen. For me, it just reminded me of the Noah's, the flood and
Noah's Ark.
Noah's Ark. Please, they said you should leave. Don't be tempting God in this way. Anyway, so they said that this is something that they deal with year in, year out, and they sort of lived with it. So some people may not think it's serious, but obviously this seems to be quite serious because I hear, you know, that even here in Lagos, Lekki area, and they've been asked to evacuate. Benue as well is urging his residents to evacuate. Niger, Kogi, Nasarawa as well, they have plans. But in Anambra specifically, they said they've created a haven, sort of a shelter while this flood is happening, so that they can stay there and be safe until it's over.
Okay, another story, son?
NAPTIC rector is warning students against unplanned journey. And the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, Imo State Command, has warned students particularly against unplanned journey abroad. The Imo State Commander of NAPTIP, Tochukwu Ezebu, was speaking during the commemoration of the 2025 World Trafficking Against Persons at the Federal Polytechnic in Kede, Owerri, in collaboration with the Network Against Child Trafficking, Abuse and Labor. He said that students have been unfortunately the target for organ traffickers. According to him, he said several students have been lured abroad with the promise of greener pasture, but ended up being victims of organ harvesters. He also said that we decided to take the message of human trafficking to the students because they are the most vulnerable and the target for human trafficking. The male and the female youths are usually targeted and they are easily lured into illegal migration and trafficking. With the Sensation program, they will be better informed and they will have pointers towards human trafficking. And he's also urging that parents should also remain vigilant and to check the excesses of their children. The commander who also spoke on to the chief intelligence officer also called on students that they should allow the workshop to guide them against traveling illegally. We know that the awareness created will go a long way to restrain the youth from embarking on dangerous and unplanned journeys in the quest to seek greener pastures. So please, Nigerian youths, parents, this is on the rise now. So we have to check and balance.
Fantastic. Let's go on a very short break. When we come back, move on to our next segment of the show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.